I'm super excited to be here at my first RDC. I thought I should start by telling a little bit about myself, since you guys shared in some of the earlier presentations that I've met some of you. I know there's a bunch of people here internationally, which is awesome, or speak multiple languages. I grew up, my mom was an immigrant to this country, and we spoke multiple languages in my house, and I've had the opportunity to live and work overseas. Most recently for Apple, where I spent 6 years in Asia, out of a total of 12 with them. And when I left Apple, I was looking around and I was thinking, I want that special feeling again. I want to find a place like that, like the way Apple was when I first joined. And what do I mean by that? I mean a place where the community cares more about building than consuming, a place where technology and creativity come together in unexpected ways and delightful ways. That place is Roblox. And that community is you guys. So I'm just super excited to be here and really grateful. So thank you very much. So we'll talk a little bit about where we are today with international and where we're going. Let's start with an update on Spanish. First, you might say, why did we start with Spanish? Well, it's the #3 language on the internet, so it's big. And it's also, frankly, relatively easy. So it's good for us to walk first. Walk it, talk it, walk then run, right? That's what we're doing. And really, it's cut across the entire business of Roblox. We had obviously updated and localized the client experience, but we built new customer support and moderation centers that are focused on Spanish. Our text filtering is upgraded. We've launched local pricing in most of the major Spanish-speaking countries, and even local payment types, like in Mexico with OXXO. Obviously, marketing. We did Egg Hunt in Spanish. And the developer team has done a lot of work with forums, with Spanish Twitter accounts, and there's more to come. One of the major things that you guys worked on with the developer team was our First Mover program. The goal of this was to create high-quality reference games to show people what it's like to do high-quality translation. So, look, not everybody who's on this list is in the room today, but if you are in the room, please stand up if your game is up on this board. That is awesome. Woo! That is fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. We know it was a lot of work, and we learned a ton. But you guys inspired lots of other people. And so we have over 1,000 games now that are in Spanish. And so with all the work that you've done, all the different activities we're doing out there, it's no surprise that we got the attention of the biggest gaming YouTuber in Spain. He has over 29 million followers. He'd never played Roblox before. So he tries it out. He's a little skeptical at first. And at the end, he's clapping and gives us a 10 out of 10. So that's an amazing thing. And that's the influence of going local and having those reference games out there like you guys did. So with all this activity, it's not surprising that we've had an impact. And these numbers I'm about to share with you for the first time, I think are really incredible. The first is, if you look at just the Spanish-speaking countries, we had over 5 million players last month. We didn't even have that many in all of Roblox 4 years ago. So this is an incredible start. Second thing is, over the past few months, over 100 million in Robux have been spent in these countries. Again, that is a phenomenal start, and there's more to come. The last metric, Christian was talking about this earlier. We took out the big games, the Meep Cities and the Jailbreaks, and we looked at a set of these high-quality localized games, and we said, what's the impact just on the Spanish-speaking countries? What happened there when those games were localized? Engagement went up 2x. This should not actually be surprising. When you do a high-quality localization in Spanish, turns out Spanish players like that. They spend more time. They get more out of your game, right? It's just intuitive, but it's great to see the numbers behind it, too. Now let's talk about the rest of the world. Beyond Spanish, it is a huge opportunity. There's over 500 million kids under 15 who are connected to the internet that have never played Roblox. That's my job and your job to get all those kids into the platform, to teach them how to code, to let them have the great experience that we've all had. So that's a big world out beyond English and beyond Spanish-speaking countries. The second thing is they spend money. There's more gaming revenue. Christian said this as well. There's more gaming revenue outside of the US and Europe than there is in those regions. So it is a big, big, big opportunity out there. And I want to give you an analogy on this, which is international today is like mobile was just a few years ago. So this was the picture. I wasn't at RDC before, as I mentioned. This is my first one. But I've talked to a lot of people, and you guys have spent a lot of time on mobile in the past few years. But 3 years ago, less than 25% of the traffic on Roblox was from mobile. And so what were the conversations at RDC and in the forums? It was this. Hey, I got 5-to-1, my users are on desktop. And you know what? The mobile guys, they don't pay. I can do more with the canvas on desktop, and it's a real pain in the neck to optimize for mobile. So you know what? I'm sticking with desktop. So what happened? Well, a couple of you said, mobile's small, but it's growing. And maybe if I spend a little more time on it and make the experience better, then maybe people will play it more and spend more time. And maybe if they spend more time, they're going to spend more money. And even though it's a pain in the neck to do it right now, if I start now, I'm going to learn. And if I learn, I'll get better. And if I get better, well, I'll have an advantage. So that's where we are right now. International today is where mobile was just a few years ago. And today, some of you, the metrics have totally flipped. You're probably 75, 80% mobile. That's going to happen with international. So keep that analogy in mind. To support this huge opportunity that I've just described, I want to now talk about the countries we're going to and then also support for you. Let me start with the second piece, which is we've heard your feedback. It's been great. And again, we really appreciate everyone who has taken the effort and gone through these first iterations in Spanish. A couple of themes come out from your feedback. One is the tool is really difficult. It's hard. It's hard to get all your strings in one place. It's hard to maintain the translations on those strings. So we really understand that. We've heard that loud and clear. The second thing is, who do you go to get your games translated for that high quality experience? That's been a challenge. The third challenge is, well, how do I know how I'm doing? You're not getting reports that show you how you're doing in these countries or what the impact is, like I could show you what the impact is of your translations. So coming over the next few months, we're going to make a lot of steps to improve that. The great Roblox tradition of let's get going, let's iterate. That's what you do, that's what we do. So the first thing is we're going to start rolling out reports that show you how your game is doing in top countries. So key metrics in key countries. We're also going to publish a leaderboard so you can see for the top games how you stack up against other games in key countries. So those health reports that we're talking about, the international is going to be part of that. Second thing is in the community, the developer relations team, they're going to help qualify and identify folks that are playing your games, that are out there in the player community who have the skills to help you translate your games. Dave's vision that he laid out this morning of being able to crowdsource your games in a really easy way. And so it's not just a machine translation, but it's a real nuanced cultural translation. That's really important. So we want to start helping you do that. And the third thing is tools. Back to Dave's vision, push a button, and it's all magically done. We're a long way from that, but we're going to take a big step, and we're going to auto-scrape all your strings. We're going to have them available. We're going to make them easy to manage and easy to maintain those translations. So this is rolling out over the next few months. It's going to be super exciting. We want your feedback. We're going to continue to evolve it. But that's going to really help you and us take advantage of this opportunity together. But those aren't here yet. They're coming in a few months, over the next few months. But do not wait. Be that first mover. Start now. Start to learn. Start to build your relationships in the community for people who can help you. Start now. Be that first mover. So let me tell you now a little bit about the languages and countries we're going to as we start to unfold the opportunity. Dave mentioned some of this morning, that we are now in Brazilian Portuguese. Woo! So what does it mean to be live? That means that obviously the clients are localized. We have text filtering that's vastly improved. And we also are starting to ramp up our customer support and moderation. Payments, payment types. We actually have Boleto in Brazil as well. So there's a lot going on and a lot more to come, and you guys should start to localize your games now. Brazil is the largest economy in Latin America. It's the 8th largest in the world. And here's the really important thing. They've won more World Cups than any other country. Don't forget that. Oh, we want to talk about the World Cup some more? All right. Good. Number 2, after Brazil. Won the World Cup last time. Kind of didn't do so well this time. But they are still the largest economy in Europe, 4th biggest in the world. It is a massive opportunity. So start now. Localize your game for Germany. Now, continuing the World Cup theme, the next winner of the World Cup. Anyone? France? Come on, come on, come on. No. All right. We have a lot of Croatia fans here. That's cool, that's cool. French. We are now available in French with Roblox. So not only, all right. So not only for France, but Belgium, Francophone Africa, and our friends in Quebec will be able to publish their games in French. So something's missing, though. Let's see, we got Brazil, all of Spanish-speaking Latin America. We're 100% covered there. We have France, Germany. We're off to a great start in Europe, but what is missing? Asia. We're not missing English. Asia. So I mentioned before, I spent a lot of time, I lived out in Asia for Apple and built the online stores across Asia Pacific, and then I ran it as the general manager there. And we used to talk about Asia as half the world. That's a big opportunity. And I don't have anything announced today, but I just want you to know we are thinking and working behind the scenes very seriously on this. We know you want to be there. We know there are so many players that want us to improve our performance there, that want us to really create the tools and the ability for lots of amazing games to come from Asia to the rest of the world, while your games go to Asia. So we're spending a lot of time on half the world. It's half the internet users, more than half. It's half of these connected kids I was talking about, under 15. And it's more than half of gaming revenue today is out there. So we are taking this very seriously. Stay tuned. We'll talk to you about this another day. I took some notes for you, just on the talk. Real quick, we talked about 3 things. It's a big opportunity. If you can remember 3 things, these are the 3 things. It's a big opportunity. Second thing is, start now. In fact, start this afternoon. Go to Giovanni's presentation in his breakout, or look at it online. And of course, there's a lot more coming soon. from you and from us to serve all these other countries. Dave started the day with a globe. I'm going to end with a globe. It's a big world. It's a big opportunity. It's only going to get better. But the one thing you need to remember, a day from now, a week from now, a month from now, when you go back from RDC, remember to start right now. Thank you very much.